Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the next installment of Let's Talk About It. So, that's not broken. So, what we're going to talk about, let's get into, is the fires in Hawaii. Now, we watched a little bit of video and news clippings on it about how they blocked all the entrances or something like that. And I forget exactly what it was that, they were saying on there because we just pretty much just watched it.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of information to take in.
Yeah.
It's a lot to take in. What were they saying on there?
Right now, it's the factor of they're only allowing so many people in at a time to their homes to
Right.
see if they can salvage anything
Right,
or to find loved ones or anything.
right,
And people are waiting for like all day just to get in, and then they shut them down.
right.
I mean, I can see points in that, but there should be some kind of different, like in just generalization, some kind of different formula to how you're doing it.
Right, right.
People shouldn't be waiting 15 hours in a line.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They should give out, this, and this amount of people today. That's it.
Right.
Everybody will get a chance. We
Right.
just have to do it because it's still hot.
Yeah.
It's still
yeah.
hot. You can't just be. I understand loved ones are missing, things and like that, but you just can't. It's just like your house is burning down. You want to grab everything you can, but you just can't.
Right, right.
You can't.
Yeah, they were saying something about it was hot enough to melt metal.
Yeah, that's rough.
I mean, wow. That's
Yeah.
insane. It's very sad that happens.
Right.
That happened. There's a lot of people that didn't make it and stuff like that. And there's a lot to go in on it, like what caused it and you know,
Right.
how did it get so hot? I don't know the temperature. We don't live out there, so we don't know the temperature out there.
Right.
So we don't know the climate and stuff out there. And then like the whole sirens thing, they said there was no emergency
Right.
warnings or anything like that.
Right.
They were saying, people, it was on their cell phone by the time they went to get their cell phone, it was gone. Like, what does that even mean? You know what I mean? Like, what does that mean? Like, by the time they went to get it on their cell phone, it was gone.
Maybe by the time they went to, it was just too late for them to get, the information in order to get to leave or what. I don't know. It's out in how you take it. I'm assuming at this point, they didn't go over it completely.
No, they didn't.
On what that means.
Right,
But
they didn't.
it could just be like their insinuation of saying they got the information too late.
Yeah.
Or by the time that they were thought to put it across the cell phone lines were gone. There could be many different answers to that
Right, right.
information.
Right. But that's under investigation as well.
Yeah.
The fact that there was no emergency, warnings or anything like that. And
Right.
People didn't get none of that, and
Yeah.
that part's under investigation. I don't see. That's very important. That's happening, but how it started, and all this, stuff like that.
Right.
Where it come from? Everything's just burning down. First it was Canada. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right.
Now it's
That's
Hawaii.
what I'm saying.
That's never, as far as I know, we've never even heard about Canada catching on fire like that.
I know.
In my lifetime, and then Hawaii.
Right. Like the whole, dang near, they made it sound like dang near half of Canada burnt to the ground.
Yeah.
Because, we're probably, 5-6 hours from, a Canadian border,
Yeah.
8 hours maybe.
Somewhere around there, yeah.
And we're getting hit with all this smoke, and that's some heavy fire.
That
has to be some heavy fire.
Yeah.
And then for this, the whole island is gone.
the
Maui.
Really?
Like Hawaii, that whole island is gone.
They just wow. I didn't. Didn't
'Cause
get too
just-
deep into it.
Right.
You
I'm
know.
like, that's a whole island town.
Yeah.
It's gone. Just burn up. Nobody had a chance.
Nobody did.
That's what they're saying. They said people were going into the ocean to get away from the fire. They could have died by ocean. The ocean is not a safe place to be just running into.
Yeah.
With no boats, nothing, just
Yeah.
to get away from fire. That's some deep thing,
Yeah. See, I don't want to get into no like conspiracy theory type stuff.
True.
You know what I'm saying? I really don't. We could go down a rabbit hole with it. You know what I mean? But we're not. We haven't gone through anything like that. We weren't victims of that.
Right.
And I really do feel bad for the people who went through that.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And I'm sure that they want answers.
Right.
They want answers too.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I was listening to this lady saying about how they see like stuff being blown up, like boats catching on fire and just like out of the blue, just catching on fire and stuff like that, like different things just blowing up and exploding. So I'm like, whoa, that's just crazy. So my thing is, just getting into if things are exploding like that, and then we had that explosion. Where was it at? Where was that explosion? In Plum or something like that? It just exploded, and then nobody can explain it. And they're like the hot water tank exploded or that. I mean, didn't we talk about this last time? I think we talked about it. But ever since then, we got more of an update on it.
Right.
And they had the father and son that passed away on that, which is very sad. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I guess they were saying something about the hot water was making noises or something like that.
Yeah, it was pinging or something. The tank was pinging.
Yeah.
There was supposedly like 3 people around the hall. Like, you see, the information is weird because somebody knew that there was 3 people in the basement, 1 person upstairs, and then it explodes, and people are calling for help, and then but how? I'm just not understanding how exactly. Like, even if you're neighbors.
Yeah.
How do you know exactly they were all down there at one point in time when this happened? How do you know specifically? I mean, maybe you were just over there or something. I don't know. We didn't get the whole entire complicated story.
Yeah, stuff coming out.
But I mean, it's just odd that there was the whole thing is odd. And then not even a week later, there was an explosion in Ohio. Another house explosion.
See, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I didn't get any information on that. I didn't read it, but just the factor of hearing the news of it, it's like, wow, that's pretty odd. And then in Plum, they said this is the 3rd explosion since 2008, I do believe.
I mean, it wasn't big news.
Yeah, like either that or it's just. Some of these things they just go over fast, and that's the end of it.
Right. And they just get through it, and they're like, yeah, it's cool. But I mean, I understand. Not that it's cool, but it's the fact that okay, it happened, and then it's like, yeah, it's news, and then it happened again, and it's like it's news again, and then it happens the 3rd time, like, whoa. Yeah. It's happened the 3rd time, so.
Yeah, and at a greater scale.
Yeah, so this is real heavy here.
Right. This is like a half a community. Blew up.
Yeah.
Like 3 homes completely gone. And then more than a dozen structurally unsound. That's a whole community.
Right.
Gone.
That's insane. So
I mean, only 6 passed on, but the damage is an entire community. That's really wild.
It is. So this is what we had all year. Okay, first we had train derailments, right?
Yes.
We had train derailments, not once, but I think 3 times?
Yeah, 3 or 4 times, yeah.
Now we haven't looked into it to see if it was the same company, or we're not going to go there. Let's just say we had 3 train derailments.
Right.
Okay, we had explosions all over the place.
Right.
And we've had wildfires all over the place.
All over the place. More in greater magnitude than ever before.
Any in recorded history
Right.
ever. So I'm not going to get into no conspiracy theory,
Right.
but I don't it's just not it's not how nature works. It's
Right.
not it's not how natural phenomenon stuff is going to work. I'm not going to say that I know how it works.
Right. True.
Without being it's coincidence. No,
Yeah.
let's not go there. Okay?
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean?
because you'll get the options of saying like, oh well, this happens all the time, but not just near your area.
Right.
Now
right.
it's near your area, you're just knowing it more. I mean, I can see that prospect too, but like even like we're in our 40s. Like how much devastation have we seen
Right.
at this magnitude?
Exactly.
Like I've heard of like California being on fire, but that's a regular basis.
That's a regular thing.
Like
with
things,
California.
it's because of the heat,
Right.
and there's no humidity, so there's nothing, no moisture, so it's easier to be caught on fire. And they're forest area and stuff. There's forest area everywhere, but the humidity is different. It's a big change in temperature.
Right. So I mean, I would think that like the island in Hawaii,
Right.
that it's surrounded by
Water.
and then the salt. Isn't it like just does the moisture in the air?
I mean, you would assume.
Is that how
You
it
would
works?
assume. You would assume, yeah.
So that when the fire is, it's not really going to hold
Right.
because of the moisture. The way this burnt. I mean, like, where? Honestly, let's be real about the situation. I mean, this is the way I would think of it. Okay, if there was some fire and you reported the fire, I'm pretty sure that island in town is so small that the fire company would have got there before it got crazy.
Possibly, yeah.
So how did this? I mean, like if somebody threw a match on something and kerosened up something or gasolined up something and just threw a match on it and it burnt, even at that magnitude, shouldn't the fire company still get there at a greater time before it starts going all crazy?
You would think.
You would think. So
Yeah.
now there's always with arson and all, there's always an investigation going on with these things.
Right.
But at something at this magnitude,
Yeah.
you don't know where to start.
Right, because where did it start?
Right.
Like
right.
we didn't go in and look because this is new. We've been hearing about it, but I never really investigated it.
Yeah.
I mean, there could be a million magnitude possibilities, but then again, I mean, I don't know. Temperature's been changing.
Yeah.
It's been super hot.
Yeah, it has been.
It has been. It could have been like super dry there. We don't know. I mean, yeah, they're surrounded by water, but that's not unforeseen. Still.
Right.
But how did that magnitude of devastation happen fast?
It's still going on right now, I believe. Because I think we've seen something that was live.
Possibility, yeah.
It was live, and they were like on a news place, and there's this and that, blah blah blah, yada yada yada. Why don't they get more help over there? I mean, I don't know. I haven't dug into it. We haven't dug into it enough to. We just watched something little about it, and we're commenting on it because, that's just from what we've gathered of what it is. So I mean, honestly, like all this help, get over there, get over there and help.
Yeah,
get somebody over there, get some helicopters, drop some sand on it, do whatever. But the thing that really gets me is it's hot enough to melt metal.
Yeah.
That sounds like lava right there, okay?
I mean, there's possibility. That is a possibility because Hawaii's a lot of volcanic activity.
Yeah, but they didn't say any.
No, they did not say that. They just said wildfire.
Yeah, they didn't say, the volcano spit out 3 rocks that were on fire.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or something erupted. I could see if a volcano erupted and then it was,
Yeah,
burning up stuff
right.
like that.
Right.
But it's not even doing that.
Right.
It's they put a thing on it like it just so hot that it started fire. In the history of Hawaii or this country or this town or whatever, has there ever been anything like that? Just out of the blue.
Yeah. We don't know.
And then they're it's the whole global warming thing. I don't want to sit up here and try to go on the agenda of certain things.
Right. True.
Because I'm not,
No.
It's not what we're doing. I'm just, it is global warming. They're doing the global warming thing, so it is global warming. So
Yeah. No. I don't like looking at it that way either.
I'm not going to do that.
I think it's just, like the fact basis is, we as in, it's been hot. That's all. It's been hot.
Yeah.
But that's not unforeseen in history to be hot.
Right.
Like there's been summers that have been extremely hot. Like extremely hot. This summer has been hot, but not at temperatures that I've never seen before.
Right.
Like I've not seen one over 100 and some degree day this year.
Right.
Here.
Right.
I mean, I've seen over 100 degrees before in my life.
Oh, of course.
In this area.
Of course. Right.
So I don't see it as a difference, It's just been super muggy and super hot.
Right.
That's all.
Right. Right.
It's not a level of, oh my gosh, we've never been through this before. And see, people are taking it into that context. Oh, we've never seen anything this hot before. And that's not true.
Right.
That's not true. That's pushing an agenda.
Yeah. See, that's one thing, people would like to do, because people, like a lot of people will just like, oh, well, there is global warming going on. So, the earth is getting hotter. So, we have to do our part in stopping the global warming. And I'm not getting into all of that stuff.
No, because there's a lot of questions into that and
Yeah.
a lot of other ways around thinking. It's just what you're fed.
We know for a simple fact that everybody knows this. They spend millions and billions and millions of dollars on a movie to make you believe something.
Absolutely.
You can watch whatever movie it is. You'll believe these superheroes really fly because you're watching it. You're sitting there for 2 hours and you're like, yes, I'm really into this and blah, 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 and yada, yada. You're with it and all that stuff. Why not? Now, what makes you think that there's millions of dollars not being spent to make us believe something in real life?
Absolutely.
I'm not saying that this is all make-believe and all that.
Right.
But there have been, in time of history, made up things and propaganda and cause stuff to drive different things, whether it be fear, the economy,
True.
Whatever it is, war.
True.
There has been things in that manner.
Yes.
For things to happen in history. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not going down a conspiracy theory hole, but that's the logical thing of the history that they've been doing and showing us.
Right. Plus, also the factors of, if you go back and look and certain times and certain ways movies were made,
right,
that there's things in those movies that have, like, these movies, these are fictional movies,
right,
made years prior to an experience that actually happens.
Right.
So is that kind of like a, not in terms of a predictionary, but in terms of a, oh, we told you this is going to happen, but you chose to think that it was fake.
Yeah.
And now you're real life. This is happening. And it's the same procedure that you watched in that movie. And that makes it very weird.
Right.
Very weird. And people don't put that together.
Right. Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. I mean, there's a lot of movies that do that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of movies that do that, and then people just don't pay attention. And
Right.
it's like, I mean, they're spending millions and millions of dollars to make you believe something, and then, like, you could watch a movie and then just like totally believe it's real. Some
Yeah.
people will do that. Some people
Yeah,
will do
absolutely.
that. I mean, I'm not, I'm not saying it's possible. It's not possible, but some people do that.
Yeah. Yeah. True.
And
True.
then some people were like, oh, I hate that movie because of this, or I like that movie because of this. This movie did this. This movie did that. They're spending millions of dollars to make you believe something.
Yeah.
And then this is entertainment. This is what we want. This is entertainment. You know what I'm saying? It's like, we'll spend, the box office hit $1 billion. It's like, yeah, that movie did great. That movie did great. Yeah, it did great. And telling you something that you didn't know that you wanted to hear.
Right. Right. I mean, yeah. Right. Yeah. True.
And they're still doing it now. They're still
they
doing
do
it
it
now.
every
They
day.
They do it in real life.
Yeah.
Not only on the screen. The movies are just practice.
Yeah.
The movies are just practice.
Right. Right.
When they spend millions and millions of dollars on this and do that,
Right.
they're doing it to make you believe something in real life.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
True. And then you could, like, people can go back and say, oh, well, okay, well then if you're saying, like I said, like the movie is made years ago and then something actually happens that is made, that is like, it follows the same lines, then people are like, oh, well, this person used the movie to push this
Right.
and make this happen.
Right.
But when it comes to natural effects,
Right.
natural disaster and stuff like that, and then it actually happens
Right.
with natural disaster.
Right.
So where are the lines of, everybody knows that there's things that you can change the weather.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody knows.
Oh, yeah. Everybody knows about that harp thing.
Yeah.
Everybody knows about that.
So
Yeah.
why don't you think about that?
Yeah.
Why don't people think and say, "Oh wow, this I just watched this movie like 10 years ago, and then this just actually happened, and it just follows the same line."
Right.
So why don't you think that that could be a possibility? Instead of being like, "Oh, it's just a coincidence that they made a movie, and then it happens."
Right.
You know, not everything is a coincidence in
It's
life.
not a coincidence. You know what I mean? Because there's a natural balance of life
True.
that happens.
True.
And man knocks that balance out of its rotation by doing dumb things.
Yeah.
By destroying the earth, chopping down trees, messing with the weather,
Right.
Giving people, putting things in people's body that they don't want.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just doing certain things to knock off the natural balance of life. Because if there was a natural, without that man doing that knocking off the natural balance, things would flow nicely. Things would flow nicely, and nature would take over. So things would happen in nature, to where it's like, yes, it's a cycle of nature.
Yes.
It's like everything is born. That everything that is born will eventually die.
Absolutely.
That's the natural cycle.
Absolutely.
So everything in between that happening without any interference is natural balance.
Absolutely.
So we as freaking people have to tinker with that.
Yeah.
And now you're just shifting evolution just the slightest bit to where you're pushing people to the brink of extinction.
Yeah, because, we mess with our own bodies enough that, we're our own defeat.
Yeah, yes.
We are our own defeat because we're messing with everything. Oh, let's do this. Let's do that. Oh, let's do this. We defeat ourselves. Because if not, we would just be born and live, and then we would something would go wrong in our body and naturally expire us.
Yep.
Not, oh, well, they messed with this and they died, or they got hit by this and died, or, they drowned or something like that. Those are unnatural things.
They are.
Because because we don't know how to control ourselves.
Right.
And there can be many people be like, oh, I don't do stuff like that. You do something in your life to defeat yourself.
Whether it's exactly, whether it's smoking cigarettes, doing drugs, you know what I mean,
Yeah,
whatever,
something.
that it's not natural. And some people is going to argue and say, "Oh, the Indians took peace pipes and used tobacco to make peace pipes and stuff." That doesn't mean that it's good for you. Just because the Indians did it doesn't mean that it's good for you.
Right.
Oh, they used to smoke marijuana and for peace pipes and tobacco and stuff like that. Well, how do you know? You wasn't back there. So all the problems that they dealt with because of the consequences of their actions.
Right.
You weren't back then. You weren't there.
Right.
So I don't want to hear anybody saying that, because of that. But those are unnatural things. Yeah, you could say, oh, the tobacco plant is natural. Okay, yes, the tobacco plant is natural, but the things that you've done to it, to modify it, it's not natural.
Yeah, plus the factor of just because it grows naturally doesn't mean it's good for you.
Exactly.
It does not mean it's good for you.
Exactly. You got the, you know what I mean, like over in Colombia and all that stuff, you got the kids, you know what I mean, chewing on the coca leaves.
Yeah, it's
which is
different.
Natural over there for them. That's natural for them.
Yeah,
it's different. You know what I'm saying?
It's
different. And then when we take it and we grind it down and we do what we do when we make it coke.
Yeah.
The drug coke.
Yeah, it's chemically enhanced.
It's chemically enhanced. That's unnatural. You're messing with the balance of life.
Absolutely. And plus, like everything has its ups and downs, naturally grown or not. Look, it takes somebody to find out something's messed up.
It does.
So it does. Somebody had to tested it out to find out that you get messed up or you die from it one way or another, or we wouldn't know, oh, don't eat that. Somebody else ate it and died. So obviously it's not good. Or maybe their body just wasn't okay with it. You don't know that, but somebody died from it, so now it's off limits.
Yeah, I don't want this is kind of funny. I mean, I don't want, we're having a serious discussion here.
Right.
We're having a real serious discussion. But I gotta say this. Like, okay, they found out you could smoke weed. They found out you can smoke tobacco and this and that. I wonder what happened. I feel bad for the person who smoked poison ivy.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you think that it would have, you know what I mean, done something to them? If they're, because I'm not allergic to it. I'm not like, I don't, you know what I mean? It doesn't bother me when I touch poison ivy, poison oak, all that stuff. But the person that was like really allergic to it, and they're trying to figure out what they can smoke and what they can't smoke. And it's like, okay, if he dies, then,
don't do it.
We're not going to do that anymore.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, he died. What happened to him? Like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, did he actually die or like what? Because the effects of poison ivies, the rat, all that rat. But on the inside, would it have been the same?
Oh, yeah.
Are you smoking it? You know what I mean?
I don't know. It's just all like everything's so weird. I don't know.
Like somebody smoked a cactus. And,
I'm sure people eat cactus.
That's how they got to all that. Isn't that peyote stuff cactus?
I don't know. I don't know how. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't want to get into that because I don't know. But
it's just somebody found out that if you're in the desert and you eat some cactus, you may survive your trip.
You may survive
because it's got water in it.
Somebody figured it out. Like, you know what? I'm not going to die today. I'm going to go over and eat this plant. They all need water.
Yeah, something. Try something.
Yeah, we're going to find out what they're holding their water.
You get serious when your body starts telling you need something. Your body, you get hungry. You look at things differently.
You do.
Things that you would not think of trying to do in your life, you're gonna do to survive.
Right.
Because I know something's going wrong here. I'm losing it. I know what I need, and I'm gonna try to find whatever I can to subside that. Just like Like,
It's
I
a
don't know why
survival.
people think like survival is a big difference than just being weird and trying weird stuff.
It is. It is.
Like, I don't know. Like, nobody in, like, me logically, like, as in, if you were talking about drugs, then, like meth and stuff like that, that's made from chemicals that
Yeah.
you clean and stuff with. Like, nobody, like, logically, I'm not going to be sitting, like, the story began that this lady was so tired and she couldn't get all the work done in her house and she needed something to give her energy, so she mixed a bunch of stuff together and it gave her energy. So that's how it began. And I think that's a bogus story.
It's an all the way bogus story.
Like, I'm not going to sit there and know that this is like cleaning supplies and I think that it's okay to put it into my body because it's going to give me energy
And not die from
and
it.
not die from it. I just think that's a bogus story. It's
Yeah.
something fed to us
Yeah.
to tell us that this, oh, well, somebody did this in, like, no, that it doesn't add up. It
It's
doesn't
like-
add up. That's not a logical, common sense story.
No, that's like AIDS came from monkeys.
Yeah,
If you believe that,
right,
then you believe the magic school bus is real.
right.
I
And
mean,
if they want to say AIDS come from monkeys, then why didn't they try to eradicate all the monkeys?
because it didn't come from monkeys.
Right.
It's just a bogus story.
Yeah, it is. That's
It's just bogus stories. There's a lot of bogus stories out there.
There
I mean,
is.
We can sit there and go off bogus stories all night.
Oh, heck yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's all in what, people believe, when they read from these major news outlets. It's like, well, it's got to be real or it wouldn't be on TV.
Right.
They wouldn't be talking about it if it wasn't real.
Right.
And you don't do your research, so there's enough tools in here for you to figure it out.
Yeah.
Don't jump off the porch off
Right.
of a false pretense. Don't
Right.
do it.
Like, you'd think nowadays, with the amount of ability we have to look at anything we want, like, we could go into any library in the entire world on our phone
Right.
to see any
Right.
kind of document.
We could.
I mean, that's a multitude of information. Back 30 years ago, there was not that information.
No, we was
You
blind.
had to go to the library and read through a bunch of encyclopedias to find out some form of information, or talk to somebody older than you that went through that kind of information. That's how you learned your information.
Exactly.
If you if
Exactly.
you didn't have people around you that could tell you that answer, or you didn't have a book that you could find to get that answer,
Right.
you didn't have an answer.
You didn't.
Or if you didn't try to figure it out yourself.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
I mean,
Um,
it's a learn by, I don't know how to say
Experience.
it. Experience. You
Yeah,
have
yeah.
to figure it out.
So
All things are made that way, I guess.
right. To get back onto that the Hawaii fire thing.
Yes.
I'm not gonna. It's very tragic that happened. I'm not going to. We're gonna definitely keep updating with that, and probably bring back some more information.
info.
I'm pretty sure anybody who's listening to this or watching this is going to know the information about it. But we're not giving you information to where we like have inside information or anything like that.
No.
This is just pretty much our version of how we see it and our thoughts on it.
Right.
So, take it with a grain of salt of anything, I got to put that disclaimer out there for facts, because it's nothing about facts.
No.
It's nothing about facts, especially in this, the world we live in today with this, fact checkers and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I don't believe in any of that stuff, but for those who do feel, oh, wow, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We're doing what we do. We're
Yeah.
going to say what we say. So if you don't like it, turn it off.
We're just here to give information out of our opinion of how we see things.
Exactly.
That's all.
Exactly.
You know, and that's how, technically that's about what anybody can tell you.
Yeah.
Other than the people that live through it.
Yeah. And they'll tell you. Those are the facts.
Yeah.
Those are the
like,
real facts.
I seen this do this. That's how it is.
Exactly.
You know?
Those are the facts. Those are the facts.
But everybody has their own way of giving their opinion on things. And the bad part about it is everybody wants to be like, well, I say it's this way and that's how it is. No, it's not. That's your opinion. That's how you see it. I can see something completely differently and been there in the same position you were.
Right.
But I just seen it in a different perspective.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
And there's nothing wrong with that. That's how life is.
Exactly.
We're not everybody's supposed to see eye to eye.
You're not supposed to, and that's what makes us people. If we all seen the same, then we probably wouldn't be able to advance civilization.
Yeah, there wouldn't be a lot of different things happening because
We can't.
everybody sees things the same way. So life is not going to be full of different things. It'd be plain.
We can't advance civilization.
No.
It just doesn't work.
No.
But we got that out of the way.
Yeah.
The disclaimer was out of the way. We didn't even need to do the disclaimer, but
It's better to get it out there.
it is. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. But I just, those people that were in the water just to escape the flames and all that, I'm not, that's just tragic. And there's a lot of people that didn't make it, at the hands of however that happened.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's tragic going on all across the world. And there's nothing that people claim that they can do. But there is things that people can do. Stop having the pedestrian effect.
Right.
Everybody has a pedestrian effect. You read something? Man, that's a shame. We got it. I mean, if there was a train for us to jump on to be able to do something, because everybody else, the train of non-pedestrian effect people, would be on that train.
True.
We'd be on that train. But everybody has the pedestrian effect. If you don't know what the pedestrian effect is, just look it up. I'm not going to get into it. Just look it up, give you some research, do your homework, come back, watch the video, and then you'll understand a little bit better. But that's what everybody has. Honestly, everybody has it because in their everyday life. And then people are so caught up in their own life that they do not care about anybody else until it's Christmas. And then everybody has to be nice because it's a holiday, and now they play all these commercials, and it's so cheerful and so warming and all this stuff to where, I'm going to go shovel my neighbor's sidewalk for them. I'm going to dig out their car because it's that time of the year. It's Christmas.
Yeah,
but you won't cut his grass in the summertime. You won't invite him over. You won't bat an eye to help him with a flat tire.
Right.
You won't do any of that.
Right.
This is it extends from that pedestrian effect with people.
Right.
And it really, really bogs me down.
Yeah.
Bogs me down.
I can see because, everybody does it. It's not. The biggest thing is around Christmas, but around a lot of holidays, everybody has a lot of camaraderie.
Right.
When it comes to a holiday.
Mm-hmm.
But after the holiday's over, that camaraderie expires.
Right back to your normal ignorant self.
Like if you're that type of person that you are only nice to other people during holidays, that seems like a selfish type thing.
It does.
To me.
It does. Now, I don't want to get into it to being, I honestly do, but I don't want to go down the rabbit hole with it. What I'm going to say is some holidays programming.
It is.
Programming.
Yeah.
you don't have to rush and trample people on Black Friday. Do you understand you're still buying the same products at the same prices? They just fooled you.
Yeah.
You're buying the same stuff. You're just fooled. You think you're getting it cheaper. You're not.
No.
Do your research and find out how that is. I'm not going to. This is not a fact. This is, you do your own research. This is our, like we said earlier. I'm not going to get into that. But
Right.
It's programming.
Yeah.
Programming.
And, plus, you can't tell me that there's so much hate in this world. Like, we're blasted with so much hate on TV, but you can get 100,000 people in a stadium and they get along.
Yeah, for a Beyonce concert
or a football game.
Yeah,
8 hours of sitting in the bleachers, butt up against each other,
buying each other $30 beers. And,
yeah, everybody's cool then.
Yeah.
Everybody's cool then.
It's that warrior sport.
On TV, on the news, everybody hates each other.
It's this programming. It's the freaking programming. And I personally think that, I'm not trying to bash any holiday or anything like that, but like, what if you really listen to it? The whole sleigh bell things with the ching 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 ching, those don't sound like bells. It sounds like change jingling in your pocket, which means spend money. Spend money. But that's just how I see it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. Yeah, you're supposed to do that, but do this at a normal pace. You shouldn't have somebody to tell you to do something.
Right. That's why the Salvation Army rings bells. To put money in their bucket. Exactly. They ask for your change.
Exactly. So,
like the kids standing outside the
ringing
stores.
Ringing the bell.
Yeah. Kids standing outside the stores asking for donations for their teams or whatever. They're shaking their little jugs.
Their
little cans. Because there's change in them.
Yeah.
Everybody drops their change.
Get you a trigger. Get you a trigger that's going on.
Trigger.
So Christmas isn't any different with the sleigh bell ringing.
No.
Sleigh bell, ching, ching. It's like, whoa. And it doesn't sound like, it's not bells. It's not bells. You put a bell on, okay, you want to hear the clock tower bell. That's a bell.
Holidays aren't what they were originated to.
No, none of them.
None of them. They're all commercial.
Oh, they're all commercial.
Everything's about spending money.
Exactly.
Everything.
You buy candy on Halloween. You buy candy on Easter. You buy candy on Christmas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You buy candy.
Yeah, you buy hams and turkeys and food on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, look, you eat. Supposedly, you buy food on every holiday.
Yeah.
You don't have a Halloween dinner. There's no such thing as a Halloween dinner.
No. But it's candy.
It's candy. That's why there's no Halloween dinner.
Candy and costumes.
You gorge yourself on candy to where you have hyperactive problem and you start going to cause mischief. You're so hyped out of your mind. They're sugared up, and you just start going to cause mischief. Whoop, 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 you're just done, and you just start going to cause mischief.
Yeah.
So, I don't get into the whole, we don't get into the whole trick or treat thing. Like, it's supposed to be cool. How can you make something negative and turn it into a positive? Oh, they want to dress up as this. Okay, most of the time, kids are dressing up as movie characters that they cannot see.
Yeah.
How do you see? Sometimes we was able to dress up as like Freddy Krueger when we were kids.
Yeah.
We had Freddy Krueger dolls and everything, but we couldn't watch the movie.
Yeah, you weren't allowed to watch the movie unless your parents let you watch it.
But
at home.
Exactly. But we had Freddy Krueger dolls. Why are you making kids' toys?
Yeah.
And it says on the thing like 3+ or 6+, and it's like, whoa. Okay. I can have this, but I can't watch the movie.
Yeah.
It's just that,
Yeah, it does. It's marketing. It's all about the money. It's all about the money.
This is capitalism at its finest.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
At its finest. I'm not going to say, I'm mad at him for doing it or anything like that, but just to point out the obvious. This is what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This is what's going on. I'm not. They shouldn't be doing that. The blah, blah, blah. No, I'm just pointing out the obvious. Hey, you're making your money doing it. People are buying it, so it's not hurting anybody.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's not hurting anybody. You're not putting Coke and the pixie sticks. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
right,
and
right.
making kids go out and commit all kind of burglaries and stuff.
Right.
You're
true.
not doing none of that, so you're not hurting anybody. So
No.
have at it. If people want to
But-
choose to do things to themselves, they let them do it. You got options.
Right. True.
You got options.
And just, like we were saying, everything's commercialized now.
It is
Because it's all about the money.
It's yeah.
And there's so many different, like, Christmas itself
Mm-hmm.
is uncontexted, kinda, because to me, the original story is there's two different things. The people go the religious route,
Yeah.
or you go the old man who made toys route.
Right.
But nobody brings up the old man that made toys anymore, other than he's Santa Claus and it's commercial.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the real origin. That's not the real point.
Mm-hmm.
They don't they're not giving the kids the option of learning that anymore.
Right.
It's all about, Santa Claus, Santa Claus, Santa Claus.
Right.
No, stop. I just don't agree with that.
Right.
That's personal opinion.
Of course.
But I think if you're gonna have something, you should keep it along the lines of an origin.
Mm-hmm.
If that's what you want to exalt every year as a holiday, then maybe we should use it in the way it was made.
Right. In the originality.
Right.
What I mean?
Easter has not changed. Easter's about the Easter holiday was put out as Christ has risen.
Yeah.
And it still is to this day. Christ is risen.
Right, with a commercial twist to it.
Yeah, because of the candy, they just
And the
Easter
baskets
baskets.
and, you know what I mean?
You know.
Let's spend money. I'm sorry, I didn't mean
Yeah,
to cut you.
no. But the original story is still there every year.
Mm-hmm.
With the added bunny and baskets.
Right.
But other than that, it doesn't waver.
Right. These shoes coming off, man.
But everything else wavers in different ways.
It does. It does.
Every year, July 4th is all about
Independence.
cookouts and fireworks.
Fireworks, yeah.
Everybody goes crazy for cookouts and fireworks on Independence Day.
Yeah.
And nobody tells the story anymore of why it's Independence Day.
They just do it. Do it. Everybody's woo, yeah, it's your blowing fireworks, drinking their beer, getting off, tuned up. Hey, you gotta really thank the people. Take time to, the people that made that possible.
Yeah.
From signing to fighting.
Yeah. True.
From fighting to signing, I should say.
Yeah, true.
But people don't do it because it's a lot of things. We're going back to the school thing. It's not really taught in schools.
No.
We want to learn about Christopher Columbus that discovered America and all that other crap. And you got the Black History Month and the all this stuff that is not going to help people in life.
No.
You know what I mean? So it's just the way it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and a lot of the stories are falsified.
It is.
They don't really tell anybody the real stories. They don't.
No. They should have never. They. You got to read books. They had books. They had books about. They had books about things, and they still. There's a lot. If you want to really get to the truth of things, you can search things on the internet. You could, but there's a lot of digging to go through to actually come to a conclusion on something. But if you go to a book, that was written by, such and such person, I'm talking, before, you're going to get more of a natural answer to whatever it is that you're trying to seek, without being diluted by the internet. You know what I'm saying?
True, because everybody can change things on the internet. You can't change. I mean, you can change a book and then get rid of the old book. But if you go back in time, and find like dated wise.
Yeah, yeah.
Then you're getting closer to an origin.
You find those books, you're doing good.
Right, right. Because even like, me personally, I think, even like biblically,
Yeah, yeah.
like if the Bible was written in a language that doesn't exist now, who translated it throughout time to where we can understand it?
Yeah.
How do you not know, or how do we not know that things have not changed in the wordings and how it's interpreted from that time till now?
Right.
That how much has that been altered that we don't know about?
We don't know. Because I'm sorry, was you?
No, I mean, it's just like, that's just the way I think. I'm like,
Oh, it's definitely, yeah.
I'm one of those people that have to have something blatantly, like you have to prove to me that this is really what was said in the beginning.
You need that first
I
hand.
don't know for a fact because they, there was no photographs back then. So how we don't know what these pictures are made up.
Yeah.
Right. Personally.
Right. Exactly. Right. True. You can't keep the same image of something that hasn't been jotted down in its own original time.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, find me a picture or something of something biblical in its form. It doesn't exist anymore. It doesn't exist. So how did you come to the conclusion of what you have? If it doesn't exist anymore, where did you get it from?
Right. And they play like, oh, they have some scrolls or something. Okay, but it's written in terms that nobody knows. Okay, I've been taught how to read this and that, but like, this is like before time. Like, within your lifetime, the people that you've known in your lifetime still can't go back to that time.
Right.
So how do you know there's not been altered things just to be like, oh, well, I don't know what this says, but we're going to tell them that it says this.
Yeah.
Somebody finds it like, oh, I know how to read this, when they really don't.
They don't. They just
but
make their own.
They just, it happens. It happens now. It happens now.
Right.
Because I could write something today, and in 10 years, it could be completely altered differently by somebody else's interpretation.
Exactly.
And nobody's going to know for that for a fact unless they go back and read my original writing.
Right.
But if times change in 300 years on how we write and how we document things, who's to say that somebody will, 300 years from now, nobody here is going to be here.
Exactly.
So how do we know that somebody has learned this language to push it to this language?
Fabrication.
We don't know for a fact.
Right.
I'm not saying that it's not right.
Yeah. Or it's not plausible or anything like that. Yeah.
But,
I got you.
just, I don't know for a fact.
Yeah.
You know, I could be reading somebody's fairy tale for all I know.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. That's just insane. You know what I mean? What is this? It's teetering.
Yeah. Because it's heavy. It's imbalanced.
It is. So that, I think, that's, I think we touched a lot of things on this episode here. Anything else you want to say?
Yeah. We as people should stop messing with stuff.
Right.
Can we just be smooth with things for a little while?
Yeah. Can we go? You know what I mean?
Can we
take it slow?
procure our lives for a little while?
Yeah.
I'd like to be around till time tells me it's time to go.
Stop meddling with nature.
Yeah, I don't want somebody else to be my end because they like to mess with something.
You got to take this shot. You got to take this pill because you
no,
have this, and this can cure it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's no history of this ever happening in the history of mankind, so you've just made that up.
Yeah.
And now you want me to take your cure for the that you just made up.
Yeah.
Not happening, guys.
Everybody just take a break.
You know what I mean?
Take a breather. Enjoy the sun.
Enjoy it.
Enjoy the air we breathe.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know.
And stop. Don't worry about everybody else. If it ain't your family, don't worry about it. It's too stressful.
Yeah.
It's too stressful. It's too stressful.
Yeah. Be happy. Just be happy for yourself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Don't make anybody else happy.
True.
It only hurts you.
Exactly. Yeah. So, I think we're gonna wrap that up. Give a shout out. Everybody that's listening, thank you. Up and Smoke Network. Shout out Smoke Dog. Shout out Paco, Chris Clay, MJ. Let's do this. Oh, we killed the. Hold on, I gotta get the mouse. Look at this. Oh. I have this mouse here because I don't want to get up and shut it off because the computer's over there. We have all the lights. This is how our setup here. So we got the lights, computer, mixer, stuff over there. All these plants you see, these are real plants, okay? These are real chairs, obviously, and we are real people, okay?
Yes, and this is a real wall.
This is a real wall. And this is a real picture of Sevi, all right?
Yep.
Make sure you say hi to Sevi. If you come, make sure you say hi to Sevi.
Hi to Sevi.
Later. Until next time.